Our biggest struggle is doing things that reach out to our community that are affordable, but still keeping the community center alive, as well as trying to attract some bigger names outside of our local area and finding the grant funding to be able to do that. We have great facilities. We have the old school auditorium, but our dilemma has been kind of they have to have money to make money.
We're starting to buy for 2023, and the prices that we're getting quoted is pretty steep. There was way more opportunities than there was bands this year. 2023 is going to be a pretty tight market, especially on the weekend. I think if you were able to do a Thursday or a Sunday afternoon, if that made any sense to your overall event, I think there's some value to be found in those dates.
Bus drivers is the number one thing that artists can't find. So now when the artists can't find a bus, now they're flying. And when they're flying, they're expecting the venue to take care of backline.
The prices are going up, but with Stephen and Brian and I being in contact with so many people on a daily, weekly basis, we know who's coming through and who's needing to fill a date for routing. So we can always help out on pricing. If your artist can't get to the venue, which has happened to all of us, and it's a terrible thing, but thankfully, if you're working with an agency, we can always find something. We can figure something out. So you have to be really strategic with your marketing, and even more strategic with what bands you choose, because really you're selling the band, but you're also selling the experience. So getting really creative with your marketing is probably going to be your saving grace where you're located.
Maybe look at a group that could go out and be a rainmaker for you. Sponsorship sales, obviously they got to have something to sell, but generally they're taking 15 to 25%, but 15 to 25% if they've got relationships with maybe regional folks, certainly 75 or 85% of new money is not bad either.
The hot and newer artist, you've got to get them really early on before they have a single at radio. I would recommend talking to your very young demographic and find out who they're listening to on streaming, flip the switch and go back to a 90s act or an 80s act that had one song or two songs out. Those are the two sides of the demographic. Do you do alcohol sales?
We do not. We are working with our board. It has always been an alcohol-free facility, and getting a lot of pushback from our board. We have some board members who we've always done it that way before, and we've never had it and survived. And we have survived financially. We have not thrived. And if we're going to be a community center that's relevant in 50 more years, we're going to have to thrive.
Talk to them about doing a beer garden the first few years. Put up some orange fence. If you got a drink, stay inside that beer garden. And then that way they can go and come. That way you'll stick your big toe in the water, see what it feels like. And you can show the community area, hey, this isn't going to be as bad as you think it is. The other idea is, take the first year or so, take some orange snow fence or construction fence from Lowe's and put you a fence up around the front of the stage and sell a gold circle for a VIP type of experience, and use that as your selling point. Is to get closer to the stage, you got to buy this ticket.
Whether it's premier parking, it's tables, it's a royal flush restroom, or anything that you can create or dress up the experience.
But it's not just the band. They have like video games out, and they have costume contests, and they just have all these like very 80s decorations and things, and they're selling the experience. It's an 80s party. It's no longer just a concert.
Do some online surveys, some Facebook surveys, and ask the community what they want.